A leak. What is the disadvantage and the advantage of leaks, learning leaks? Well, the advantage is that you can play something in a solo, but the disadvantage is that that's not you. So I remember I went to a class in Longa-McQuaid 10 or 12 years ago in Toronto, and Alan Holdsworth said, he was asked this question, and he said, leaks are not good because it makes you away from the goal. The goal is that you develop your own sound, and if you start copying leaks only, you will sound like others. So, of course, this is a very high-end advice, but it is true, actually. So both things are also useful, and we do study some leaks, actually, also. Because just like in language, you know, how I start studying English in Spain, people speak very bad English. So I will tell you the thing, then I went to the school here, and then they told me, okay, this is the English lesson. You repeat this, the dog is brown, the dog is brown. Then I said, what is this dog is brown business? So then at a certain point, they said, you don't worry, just repeat, dog is brown, the dog is brown. I did it, and then at a certain point, they said, okay, now you know English. Then I went to Toronto to teach at the Royal Conservatory. I lived for some years there, and then I stepped into the TTC, Toronto Transit Commission. You know, the buses and the subway there. I go there and I saw one Afro-American driver, and I asked him, where is Bloor in the street something? And then he goes, why for? And I said, oh my God, I didn't get one word of what he was saying. So then, hello, we're in trouble. I noticed I do not know English, actually. So it was not enough what this damn dog is brown thing were teaching me here in the school when I was a child. So therefore, licks are like that. Lick, you learn one statement there with the lick, like the dog is brown, to learn English. It's the same like learning a lick and now I know guitar. No, you don't know guitar, maybe no licks. But it's in fashion, of course, well, you know, in blues or in rock, it may be different, and maybe there it works well for certain things, because I see many videos of people teaching licks and this stuff. And in flamenco there are also licks, and yes, this cliché stuff, we need to learn also some of them, because when we are at the level of not having a big vocabulary or you know, we don't have really many words to say something, then we have to learn some statement like the dog is brown first, and this dog is brown thing, this is the lick. So, but the lick is not you. Therefore, licks has its function also. It may serve you because also if you practice it properly and learn it properly and analyze it, because it defines a style. And a lick of Paco, for instance, phrase that Paco will play like, oh, let's say this thing, and now I can do it in whole tone or in other scale. So it's a phrase by Paco, and it's good to learn it. But then we need to also learn it in different keys and in different scales, and know its application. How do we apply this thing so that it becomes functional? Right? Then it becomes more than dog is brown, then it becomes really one blank check there, and a statement that can be used for in many contexts, in many circumstances. So therefore, music is a language, and to learn the language, ideally you have to develop this thing to know about you, to express your own thing. And therefore everything which is, that's why this parroting business, for instance, Paco de Lucia changed the valid currency from falsetto playing, he switched it to improvisation and give more emphasis to that. Actually, Paco never played same way falsetto, even twice. He never played twice the same thing ever in any concert or album, from the album to the concert, never. So, and then what does Paco improvise? When he actually improvised things, then he created it in the spot. And of course, he was against parroting. He said it's very boring. You will listen at the end of this video, he himself saying it, and another interview where also he repeats the same thing, which is very relevant to remember that this is the only time that Paco gave ever an advice for publicly giving an advice, like, you know, when people ask artists like John McLaughlin or others, what do you advise for the aspirants to play or for guys who want to try to learn, etc. He never said any tips, but this one he did say, which is that we have to explore improvisation. This is mandatory for everyone, doesn't matter which style you play. And of course, he did that inclusion of the improvisation tool as a tool in flamenco and changed the whole picture, right? And why he did that? Because he needed to have freedom. He said there, if you do this, you will get knowledge and freedom. If you keep parroting business stuff, you don't get knowledge and freedom. This is the opposite of knowledge and freedom. It's ignorance and enslavement. Enslavement to what? Enslavement to play phrases which are notes made by others. This is not you playing. There is no space for you in a lick. Lick is licked by, say, Pat Metheny lick, like. I can learn it. I can learn a phrase and but then I have to also know this is Pat Metheny lick now, how I use this thing, where I can use it, and then I have fun with that, and then I analyze it further, and maybe we'll find some compromise between his lick and what I can do with it, or maybe make it so creative its use that he himself will be not knowing this his lick. These kind of things. It depends on your creativity, on the knowledge you have, on everything, but on the intention of how you play it. But in general, licks are for beginners, right? That's why in my study program, my method, we have 9 levels. Beginners, 1, beginners 2, beginners 3. Then we have intermediate 1, intermediate 2, intermediate 3. In this intermediate 3, this is the door to advance 1, 2, and 3, other 3 levels. And there we start to actually work with what you can manufacture stuff around using those tools. And then eventually you will find your own leaks. Because the thing is you creating a leak. That is the real essence of a leak. It's not to play only leaks. If you just play leaks, you will sound like a guy saying only made phrases like the dog is brown. And that is not English. It is, but it's not the whole thing. It's just one small part. So this leak words, this is a very interesting thing, because from leaks you can learn stuff, and also but it can also limit you if you don't know but only that. Therefore your vision should be, if you learn a leak but learn many other things like we do in our, that's exactly what we do in Skype, because of course we have to learn the leaks. Why? Because we learned improvisation, composition to create new stuff other than what Paco composed. But first, what we are based on Paco de Lucia, because this is that's what he defined what is modern flamenco guitar, and therefore we have to be based on him. So therefore we also have to know some of his repertoire, falsetas, etc. I know his discography, all of it, with Camarón, with everything, so always all. But analyzing it, not just parroting it. Parroting an artist is not understanding him. Right? And that's why there are first-class parrot, second-class parrot, and third-class parrot. But the first-class parrot, everyone claps and bravo. But it's a parrot. Still is a parrot. So this is the problem, that we have to start going into a situation in which we can create the thing. And then when you make it yours, and then eventually you can also make one yours. That's all about leaks now.
Luego que descubrí ahí la improvisación. La improvisación es algo que yo pienso que cada músico del estilo que sea, del clásico, del flamenco, de cualquier otra música, debería aprender, porque en la improvisación te da mucha libertad y a la vez te da mucho conocimiento de dónde estás tocando, de cómo estás tocando, de qué armonías están en cada momento, ¿no? Tú sabes que nosotros los flamencos, sobre todo los de nuestra generación, ninguno sabemos música. Y yo desde pequeño siempre tuve las ganas de aprender música, porque yo sabía que me iba a hacer falta. Y se necesita saber música. Porque lo que yo tardo, en el tiempo que yo tardo en encontrar una cadencia de acordes, uno que sepa música te la hace en 2 minutos, y yo puedo tardar 15 días. Entonces yo me planteé muchas veces en serio aprender música, pero no tengo la disciplina, y nunca tuve la disciplina de aprender algo, porque entre otras cosas estuve en la escuela 2 o 3 años. Y pues me acostumbré a estar en la calle, a aprender lo que aprendí, lo aprendí en la calle, pues en una fiesta, en una juega, o en un escenario, o oyendo un disco. Entonces de pronto se me ocurrió que si tocaba con gente del jazz, porque la gente del jazz maneja muy bien la armonía, ahí había un campo que aprender, un campo para aprender, y que no me iba a cambiar mis esquemas, que no me iba a meter en una escuela con el pupitre delante a cantar solfeo. Y ese fue el motivo. Yo me metí ahí porque tenía ganas de aprender otra manera de tocar. Por ejemplo, la improvisación que se usa en el jazz, que se está utilizando ya en el flamenco. Ya se incorporó al flamenco. Me parece muy importante. Yo pienso que cualquier músico de cualquier identidad, de cualquier estilo, debería aprender a improvisar. La improvisación es algo que hasta que no lo descubres realmente no aprecias lo que tiene, lo que vale. ¿Por qué? Porque eso de meterte en un escenario a tocar sin saber lo que vas a tocar es muy excitante, es muy atractivo. Cuando ya tocas en una gira de conciertos las mismas notas cada día, llega un momento en que te cansas, te aburres. Pero si hay improvisación en cada concierto, cada día es una aventura.